friends, welcome back to the studio. This is day 2 at Polsko Studio in Bali, Indonesia. I am so happy we have everything up and running, and yeah, it's just great here. So I just have a few announcements before we get into the video today. First of all, we are going to be in Malta. All right, have you ever been to Malta? You know where that is? It's a beautiful island off the southern coast of Italy. It's going to be fantastic. Okay, we're doing a drummers intensive day, and we're opening up the day to the general public. So if you want to join us in Malta, you totally can. You just have to write me at phil@philmaturano.com, and we're going to be sending details to everybody, costs and hotels and all that kind of stuff. The drummers intensive day is going to be 5 days, 3 hours minimum a day. So it's a lot of drumming, a lot of stuff, and we're going to be touring Malta. We're going to be going to restaurants and hanging out. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, just write me if you want to check in with that. Also at Polsko Studio here, we're going to be doing live streaming, so make sure to hang out for that. Stay tuned for the live streaming. And of course we're doing remote recording for people. Any songwriters out there need live drums, you know where to write. phil@philmaturano.com. Polsko Studios, incredible production here we have for you. And yeah, like that. So let's get on to today's video. Today's video is Beyond Rosanna. Okay, what does that mean? Everybody loves Jeff Porcaro's groove on Rosanna by Toto, right? When that first came out, all of us were like flabbergasted. We were loving it, and it was just amazing. So I'm sure you've seen a million videos about the basic groove of Rosanna, but Jeff, believe me, he could do a lot more than that, and so can most pro drummers. So I'm going to give you things to expand your halftime shuffle feel, that's what it is. It's a halftime shuffle. And I'm going to give you some vocabulary tips and groove tips, okay? So the first thing I notice with beginning players is that when they do the groove, the basic groove, they do this with the hi-hat. Okay? Super tight shuffle. So it sounds like this. Okay? And no ghost notes. So that's okay to start with, but if your hi-hat is like that, super tight, it sounds like, you know, you need to go, you know, somewhere to South America and loosen up and dance with some nice girls. I don't know, but this is not happening, okay? You really got to loosen that up, and the way you do it is imagine between shuffle and straight, okay? So that's straight, and the other side is shuffle. So somewhere in between there, it sounds really good, okay? And not super dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. It doesn't have to be like that. It sounds too machiney. Okay, the next thing you want to do is accent the second note, maybe. Or the first note, actually. That makes it groove a little harder, but also you should accent the quarter note pulses. That's going to make it groove more than anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if you notice when I'm playing it, that's the way I'm doing it. When you take it over to the ride, you just play the bell on the pulses. So it's going to sound something like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it makes the groove a lot greasier, a lot more, you know, grooving. So the last thing you want to do is sound like a machine, especially on shuffles, okay? So, of course, you have tons of bass drum independence work that you should do. You should do downbeats, okay? 1, 2, 3. should be able to do upbeats. You should be able to do all the downbeats. 1, 2, 3. And all the upbeats. 1, 2, 3. And you should be able to do any combination really that you can imagine on the bass drum over this ghost note pattern and the hi-hat pattern. So I'm just going to play freely with the bass drums. You might get an idea of where you should be at. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's just some things you can do. You can also do 3-bar cycle vocabulary, which we've talked a lot about here on the channel and on my lesson site. Join the lesson site. Only $200 for the entire year. You have me as your personal guide there. So 3-bar cycle vocabulary. 1, 2, 3. That's what that sounds like. And the next thing you want to do after you get all that together is work on your vocabulary, okay? So the first thing obviously is triplets, right? If you're, have any experience on the drums, you can do stuff like that already. 1, 2, 3. You can do, of course, cycle work. You can use 1-bar cycles, 2-bar cycles, 4-bar cycles. If you want to know more about that, go back and watch the cycles video here on the channel. There's just too much vocabulary. It's too much. It's going to be like a 5-hour video. But one of the most interesting things, and probably one of the most common things, is going from triplets to 16th notes. Okay, so you're doing your triplet vocabulary, but you can also do 16th note. So let's just do this. This is the first thing you should do. Make sure you got the transition really clear. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That transition should be like autopilot. Can't be guessing where the 16th notes are, and then when you come back where the triplets are. Okay, so to mix those up, it sounds really beautiful. You can do stuff like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that sounds really nice, and it's something that every pro player does, obviously. In jazz, you can do that in fusion, and it transcends styles, really, but it's something you really need to get together. Of course, you can apply that to regular shuffles as well, but since I love Jeff Porcaro, and Joe was one of my teachers, Joe Porcaro, he really changed my playing as well. I really love that groove, and Jeff is one of my, obviously, all of us are, we love Jeff, and we love we would have loved to see where he would have went with all this stuff, but he gave us so much in the short time he was with us. So, of course, there's other great players like Bernard Purdie that do that really, Dennis Chambers, everybody has their versions of this, which is just a fantastic groove that you can do so much with drumistically, okay? So Again, we're going to be in Malta. If you need music, live drums recorded, Posco Studios, we're ready to record live drums on your song. The lesson site, $200 for the year. The Elite program, okay? The Elite program is cranking. It's 3 hours a day for 7 days online with me. You can break up the days. You can do once a week, 3 hours. You have 7 weeks of online lessons with me and hand consultations. Only $100 an hour. We're doing a lot of those right now. So, yeah, I'm so happy you guys are watching, and I send many greetings to all the great drummers out there who are writing in from all over the world. I'm very grateful for you watching the video. If you want me to record my play-along from Halftime Shuffle called Jeff from my first book, Working the Inner Clock Part 1, then I'll do it for you guys. Comment below if you want me to do it to see what that's like. It's a great tune. It's a very fun tune. If you've seen me on a clinic tour somewhere in the world, you've probably seen that. And if you have Working the Inner Clock Part 1, you're probably working on that tune as well. So, yeah, I'm just going to play you guys out and see you in Malta January 22nd. We're going to be there to February 5th, okay? So if you want to check us out, come join us in Malta, write me. All right. 1, 2, 3. Peace.